Here we go. Let's do this. What do I want to talk about today? What do I feel like talking about today? What am I feeling? I'm feeling a whole bunch of things. I think that I want to talk in the universe of discipline, consistency, all of that stuff. I want to make note of the fact that I am in a space of, I guess you could say, awareness, a space of just living, a space of being, a space of doing that I've never been in before in my life, and it's very interesting to be here. Where I come from and where I am are two completely different things. I didn't know delayed gratification. I didn't know discipline. I didn't know consistency. You know, there's an entrepreneur that I follow, goes by the name of Jesse Itzler, and something that he said that I really like is, if you don't have a seat at the table, make one, like forge one, right? And I know that I've had several talks with my sweetheart regarding all this stuff, but I really like this idea of, like, if you don't have a seat at the table, make one. And what this spells for me is, this is not just about like discipline and consistency and focus, but this is about like all right, there's a wall, there's a concrete wall in front of you, right? You need to turn that wall into a path to go somewhere. How do you go about doing it? How do you go about doing that? What are the means that you what are the means? What are the tools? What is your strategy or your multiple strategies that you utilize to get yourself there? I'm very interested in how actually manual life is. And it kind of goes into the idea of, like, a lot of people in life are very used to waking up to a 9 to 5, right? They're used to the comfort and security. I'm not bashing anyone, by the way, when I say this. Everyone has their own life. They get to live however they want to, however they choose to. But I'm very aware that of a large majority of people live everyday life like that, and I sense a feeling of like automation when it comes to that, right? And when it comes to the path of like entrepreneurship, right, it's very manual. Literally everything is on you. Every single thing is on you. So this is why discipline, this is why consistency, persistency, this idea of, if you don't have a seat at the table, to make one, to forge one, to do whatever the fuck it is that you need to do to get that seat, do it. What this spells out to me that I can actually really appreciate is everything. And another entrepreneur, Tom Bilyeu, of Impact Theory and Quest Health. He I think I saw him wearing, car going by. I think I saw him wearing a shirt that said, "This is all my fault." And like, at first, like, when I saw that, I was like, what do you mean by that? And then he was talking about like responsibility and stuff, and like, in terms of what it is that you're trying to create. When you're passionate about something, when you're trying to create something, everything is on you. Like, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're going to create something, like when you have an idea and you want to pursue it, literally everything is on you. And it's so manual in the sense that, like, it doesn't have to be this way or that way. Like, no one gets to dictate how it is. Like, and I think that the sense of automation that comes with a far majority of structured society, or I should say how society has been structured, kind of leaves a lot of creativity, a lot of potential, a lot of manual thinking, a lot of very, in my honest opinion, what I would argue to be necessary elements out. And when you go to create something, like, yeah, you could approach it from the standpoint of, okay, well, this inspired me, right? What, regardless of what it is, maybe it was another entrepreneur, maybe it was, I don't know, an investor, maybe it was somebody that got unbelievably fucking high off of, weed or LSD or ayahuasca. Like what I'm here to talk about is not only discipline and consistency and persistency and focus, but also in regards to like stepping out of like the automated structure of society, and just like leaning the fuck into how like just how manual everything is, because it is ridiculously manual. Like, the very reason that you think let me put shit into perspective this way. The very reason that you think, that you feel, that you live the way that you do on a day-to-day basis is because someone externally throughout, a certain amount of years conditioned you into that way of living based on what they thought was meant to be created, what they thought would benefit people, what they thought would benefit the world. What do you think the world needs, right? And like, it could be like, all right, skyscrapers that have gardens in them. Like, that's what I think the world needs. Like who thinks of that stuff? Like okay, these type of people think about that stuff. Okay, there's some type of structure going on there, but thinking outside of the box in those terms, I think the thing that's so interesting to me is that, like, I've been exploring the universe of entrepreneurship and just, like, entrepreneurial thinking. But, like, even outside of that, like, it's actually really, it can be overwhelming because everything is on you, but it's actually really cool to consider that everything is on you. Because when you're going out to create something, you get to make it you. And this has been one of the coolest things about my pursuits, the things that I'm creating. Like, when you don't have to follow a structure, you get to create in whatever way you want to, and that's one of the coolest aspects of just being a creator. Like, no one gets to tell you how to do it. You might be inspired by the way that somebody does it, but that doesn't mean that you need to do it the way that they do it. And that doesn't mean that the way that you choose to do it, which might seem completely out of this world, right? It might seem completely fucking absurd. It's the way that you choose to do it, and that's what's cool about it. Because, like, somebody, now I don't know how general this would be considered, but somebody had the idea of, oh, the internet. What is that? How does that work? What does it entail? What does it do? How far can we take it? Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. Now we're working with NFTs in the metaverse. Like it's ridiculous how incredibly manual life is when it comes to, creating. Okay, like, for example, I did this, by the way. For example, all right, you go to school, you get out of high school, you go to college, you get a job, this, that, and the other. What comes next? I don't know. You get married or you don't get married. You get married, you have kids, maybe you don't. You don't get married. Like there's, society is very structured in that way, right? And that's not the only way. This is fucking limitless. It has compartments that we haven't even explored yet. But not only this, but also this, and then even our gut, and the connection between, like the possibilities. Like, I feel like sometimes, like, even like psychedelics don't take, like, they might break down the barriers and stuff. They might rip things apart, and they might show you that everything that you think that you know is a fucking lie, which is funny, and it's actually fun to explore. But like, life is manual, and it's not scary. I mean, it might be overwhelming because you're like, oh my god, what do I do then? What do I do? Do what you want. Maybe instead of doing it this way, you do it this way. Or maybe instead of doing it this way, you do it this way. You know, like, or maybe instead of doing it this way, you just turn it slightly, like, I don't know, like who knows, like, before I, sorry, cars. Before I approached entrepreneurship, my mindset was literally like, you know, like, because it's like, this is all my fault, everything's on me. But now, like, I'm looking at it, it's like, this is fucking dope. Like, everything is on me. I get to create this as I wish. That's fucking awesome. I get to do however much I want to. I get to do whatever I want to. And that's what I really appreciate about this route, about this pursuit, is that it challenges your mind, it challenges your feelings, it challenges your beliefs, it challenges everything that you probably previously worked with. The very way in which people pursue day-to-day life is based on structure, right? If you want your life to change, you have to look at how it's structured, right? If you're disciplined, yeah, you'll probably go far. If you want your life to look differently, you need to look at this, right? You need to look at how you're looking at things. And when you start with that, that's when everything has the potential to change. So,
Oh, sorry.
no problem. Beautiful dogs.
Thank you.